Need a photo opportunity, one shot at redemption. And one pen, a cartoon million. Bone digger, dollars in the moonlight. Find where my way, let me go. Mr. Baby, get this much away from me. No, no. You can be my bodyguard. You can be my long lost pal. I can call you Betty, Betty, call me out. You can call me Al. I'll call you Betty. What a term. We are live. Welcome, everybody, to Real Deal Media Live. I am your Real Deal Media Live host here on this incredible hump day. Everybody's humping around. Yes, it is. Joining me tonight and we found each other. We've been doing photo shoots all day. And I said, hey, you want to do a show? And he said, oh, absolutely. Let's welcome to the stage the one, the only, Neil Bishop. Neil.
Just got off my Harley, and actually you were with me. It was kind of weird. Just drove up, you hopped on, we took off. It was kind of like a little Dumb and Dumber scene, but
yes.
I'm
it
loving
was. Yes, it was. And by the way, in case you were wondering, yeah, Neil rode in the back. Yeah. Not the other way around.
Let's be real.
The other way around. Tonight is a big night because we are being syndicated, broadcasted live on American X News. And I can't believe this is happening. X-American News. It's my dyslexia. And I can't believe the program director, Michael, let this happen.
What's he doing? Is he backstage? Because he was already talking about, we just got together. And now he's already talking about cheating on us.
Somebody's here. Somebody's here. Oh.
I hear the doorbell.
Oh, it is him. Michael, what a surprise. Thank you for allowing...
Michael's here.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for having me. I feel like I'm dressed appropriately for the occasion. I don't know why you guys aren't still sporting the Hawaiian shirts.
No, well, you know what? You got that. I'm a Miami Coke dealer. That look down, just to the point. I love it.
That's what I was going for.
Dean has the I'm a what Latter-day Saint knocking on your door kind of look, and I've got the bobblehead thing going on. So we're quite the fun trio here tonight.
Yes, I'm converting people. Hey, Michael, we got to thank you for allowing us access now, Real Deal Media over there on your site. I'm
glad to have you guys. Again, you've been a guest for Neil on Debatable a number of times. You do great work digging into some of these lesser known conspiracies and then bringing a lot of this information to people, because I think a lot of people really understood how more of these things were connected. They'd have a very different opinion when they see the news or the news as the narrative as portrayed by our media.
Mm-hmm. Well, exactly, too. And, you need someone to babysit the guy, and that's why I'm here. So this is the handoff. And but we'll have to have you back on. We know you have to go, and you have some clientels, import-export business.
Right. Yeah, I want to welcome you guys here to X-American News. I think you bring a lot to the table, and it's good to also get into this late-night programs where a lot of people want to learn before they fall asleep, wake up, and have to do it all over again. But I do hope to be back again later in the week. Just unfortunately, with it last minute tonight, I had a prior obligation I've got to get to. But I'll be back in the morning at 11. So,
okay. Well, I'll be sound asleep. All right. Have a good one. We'll talk to you soon. There you have it, everybody.
Yeah, Michael, we're going to talk a lot of trash about you now. I just want to say, I mean, Michael does so much over there at X-American News. He's always working. But I do want to say I'm not really mad, but I am disappointed that he would right when we get together, the first night, really the first date, he's already, we used to call this two-timing back in my day, Dean. I don't know. And I'm getting choked up even talking about it.
Me too.
It's rough. It's rough.
Yeah. Two-timing. We just called that being friendly. I don't even want to tell you what the modern handshake is these days. Neil, we're going to cover a whole host of things. And, we have a brand new audience. I'm choking up too.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough.
It is. When I see you getting emotional, it affects me too.
Yes, you're an
I don't
empath,
know
just like
why.
me.
Yes. And anyways, I won't. I'm trying to be nice tonight. We have a whole new audience over there at Neil's place over there on X, where I made a X-America, where I made a total fool out of myself last time I was on your show.
It was classic. Totally. I won't even. I'm not even going to say what happened, but it was classic.
What happened? What happened, Neil?
I don't want to say it. I don't want to embarrass anybody.
Well, I don't seem to recall what happened. Do you?
Well, sometimes if you have to use the latrine, that kind of thing.
Wait a minute. No, I meant that. That's not So anyways, that's not the one I was talking about.
Moving on.
Well, so there you have a wonderful cover there. That is, let me just tell you, we flew down to Miami well earlier today, in fact, in this morning to be exact. And Neil, you want to speak about that? Because we had Jennifer Love Hewitt, who apparently photobombed us, but it worked out. We had the live alligators. And
I think we had just gotten off the Harley at this point.
That's right.
Right before the alligator attack.
And before we hopped on the moped too. And so it was a wonderful shoot. But I got to tell you, that was the second photo shoot. The one we did yesterday, it wasn't going to pan out well. In fact, here's a little preview.
Oh, you're going to show it publicly?
Show it. Yeah, I'm going to show it. Yeah. And let's hope your parents or anyone that knows you may not just see this here. Okay, so that was what we originally did right there. As you can see, I don't know what Neil's doing. He's doing some kind of voodoo.
I was meditating.
Yeah. And I loved it. I loved it. It's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I think I was the only one wearing pants there. It was an unusual day, but anyways. So
I will never forget that. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping you forgot that other story. But anyways, so this is if you're new to this, Real Deal Media is an older franchise of 5 years now. Mm-hmm. I'm one of the main anchors. And sometimes the only, but only the lonely. But we do a variety of shows. And if you didn't see it last week, Neil joined us for one of our most profound and celebrated shows on Real Deal Media called The Lounge. And Neil, I have to tell you, I've had so many people come up to me because it was about the Zionists versus the West. And it was a very enlightening kind of episode where our third panelist on the show, Mr. Matthew Millen.
Yeah, he's good.
Who knew a lot about the history of the Zionism in Europe, but really stopped at where the Schofield infiltration, all that started, because he's a agnostic, practitioner. But because Neil is not he doesn't take Bibles and throws them at people in this case. My friend, and I was surprised to see this, he was rather very open to what Neil was saying.
Well, it's quite like I'll call it enlightening when you actually just like read your Bible and you figure out what's actually there instead of reading something that someone says about it or listening to a song about it, or twiddling your thumbs to it or whatever we're doing. You actually read it, you go, you know what? There's some pretty good stuff in here. And this subject in particular that we talked about, what I can't figure out, Dean, is why people have such a hard time talking about the subject. I don't care if I do care I would care if you disagree with me, but the general public, they're going to disagree. That's fine. But why can't we just at least talk about it? That's what's so odd. We're just so marginalized now if we want to speak freely about something like the Schofield Study Bible or the modern day state of Israel, as funded by the Rothschilds and all that kind of stuff. It's like, can we just talk about it? Can we just have a conversation without getting, without thumping the Bible or without
Well,
cursing at each other.
thumping the Bible. Well, I just found out you twiddle your thumbs when you read the Bible. That was amazing. Liz Marchand over here in Australia, a wonderful Liz Marchand says it was an amazing lounge. I keep going back to watch it again. Yes, I encourage that as well. We have a lot of people on Rumble. We're on Rumble and over there on X, of course. We have Hammer Time saying, "I ride my Harley on the other side of the road." Here, well, that's dangerous.
Whoa.
Neil, do you do that? Have you ever done that before? Just because it is quite thrilling.
You've got to be. I mean, you can't try this. Like don't do this at home. But yes, I have tried it. I have done it. What I want to just warn people about is that when you're riding on the other side of the road, sometimes there's vehicles that come right at you, and so you have to be careful about that. So
That's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing
yes,
that.
it can happen.
I don't know how true it does happen. It does happen. So
It's happened to me.
If you're going to do that, know what you're doing.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot of people gave me a lot of accolades and praise to give to you. So I do that. But there's a lot of Did you know? Speaking of this, and I know people have the Israeli fatigue, but
Not me.
I don't know if I have that
No, I don't.
because I've had the Israeli shingles before. That was not too long ago, but not the fatigue yet. Because there's so much happening. We have a new anti-Semitism czar, and I am excited about that. That is quite wonderful for me. In fact, if you missed it, I'll show this again because Neil wasn't watching last night, and that's an issue we have to talk about later. Here it is.
The president is sending a very strong message. Think about it. Ironically, I get off a plane. I am the president's representative, and I am walking off with a yarmulke, and I have kosher food, and embassies will have kosher food. It is a game changer. The appointment is a game changer, and it's not about history. It's about education. And how do we educate? Indonesia has 350 million Muslims living in the country. How do we change their textbooks? How do we hold the people in Gaza accountable that if America is paying for UN textbooks and supposedly the changes are made, why are those textbooks not being used and why are they using their old textbooks?
Well, finally, we're addressing the textbook issue because, man, when I was in college, you know how much textbooks were costing me back then?
$300, man. It's ridiculous.
I know, and you can't turn them back in to refund them. So I'm glad he's addressing one of the biggest problems in America. Thank you. I think his name's Rabbi Kuti. I believe that's how he goes by. So,
Probably
Neil,
rhymes
what's
with Shmuley. My thoughts on that? My initial reaction is that guy eats pork. I don't care what anybody says. I can tell first look, that guy eats pork. I mean, and he eats it en masse. I guarantee you that guy eats pork. So that's my first red flag. But no, seriously, I every single day you're seeing some sort of a love fest between the current president and Israel. And I don't have, people ask, are you anti-Semitic and that kind of stuff? I'm like, no, I don't have any problem with the Shem or Shemites.
That's right. I just asked before the show. I just asked Neil
that every day. And so what I have a problem with is the president not being America first and preferring another country over ours and being controlled by this other country. And now we're appointing czars. And now, we see President Trump and one Mark Levin having a love fest up in front of everybody. And Mark Levin called him, I don't know if you caught this today, Dean, but he said, "You're the first Jewish president."
Yes.
Did you hear him say that?
I did hear that. I did hear that. And
what does that mean?
Well, it means when they go out to eat, he's a bad tipper. That's what it means. He doesn't know how to tip well.
But he does well with money, though.
Well, there's another one too. What do you think out there is? How offended are you at this point in the show? We'd like to know. And
oh, we haven't even started yet.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm deeply offended, and I'm not like you mentioned Israel fatigue. I'm not. I think that people don't understand that this is probably the most important issue of our time. So I'm not going to grow tired of talking about this. And I think if people begin to see what's going on, and we talked about this a lot last week too, that the 40 and under crowd is starting to understand. They don't really care what people's heritage is or what your lineage is and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
What we care about is like having freedom, that kind of thing, and having open conversation and dialogue about that.
No, that's true. But pertaining to this, what was that? What we've discovered right before the show, your program director shared that news with us. What's happening with is Trump seeming to be turning? He's very upset with Netanyahu. Is that what we're hearing, or is this another fake out?
No, well, what Trump has said is that he's upset that there are people that are turning against Israel in our Congress. And that's what upset Trump, apparently. Now, I heard him say that, and it's really odd because he seems to be playing two different sides here. And at one
Right.
point, he will say, "Yeah, I'm upset with Netanyahu for not following through with his part of the agreement. Yeah, I mean, he's bombing, hospitals again, and that's a bad Netanyahu, whatever." But on the other hand, it's like I'm best friends with him, and he can do no wrong, and I'm disappointed or I'm concerned, according to Trump. This is what he's saying. I'm concerned that there are people in Congress that actually don't support Israel. And what has he done? He's ousted them or trying to. I think MTG, she crashed pretty hard because of Trump's pressure. Massey is a little bit like emotionally stronger than her and has nothing to do with him being a man either. Can I just clarify that? Nothing to totally unrelated.
Thank you. Thank
Totally
you for
unrelated.
saying that. Thank
Yes,
you for saying that. I
we
was
need to
about
clarify.
to yeah,
We
'cause
are
I
not
was
sexist here at Real Deal Media.
yeah, no.
We
No.
think that women are amazing individuals as well.
Yeah.
Is that
And
well put, Dean? Is that good?
no, that's true. As
Okay.
as your fellow participant in the men's show, that's true. And ladies, if you don't know, Neil knows how to lure in the opposite species, and we'll just leave it at that. But to what you were saying, here is a little preview of exactly that regarding the Jewish Congress and all that nature.
Okay.
We'll take a gander at this. And proud to be a Tel Avivian. I think that's our new terms that we're going with for the future. Here it is. Tell us.
As President of the United States, I will always support Jewish Americans, and I will always be a friend and a champion to the Jewish people. I have been. And I will say, if you go back 10, 12, 15 years ago at the most, the strongest lobby in Washington was the Jewish lobby. It was Israel. That's no longer true. You have to be very careful. You have a Congress in particular, which is becoming anti-Semitic. You have AOC +3. You have those people, Ilhan Omar. She hates Jewish people. And you have to be very careful because there's been a big change. If you go back 15 years ago, I'm not Jewish, but my father was very friendly with many, many Jewish people, was honored by Federation.
Did he really have to remind us he wasn't Jewish? Where did that come in?
We'll go with him.
No.
The Federation of
Thank you.
Jewish Philanthropies and many other things. And
Okay, I've had enough
grew
of that. Thank you. I don't need to hear the old time rock and roll stories there.
Yeah, and if AOC and Ilhan Omar, if they're anti-Semites, I mean, I'm sure they probably are. And one of them is under investigation for marrying her brother. Isn't that one of them?
Now, she's not here to defend herself.
Can we have her on and talk about that?
Everybody knows in that culture, you don't really know who your father is, Neil. Okay. So let's cut her some slack. And they just found out after the fact. And, hey, love is love. Don't you understand?
Being from Colorado, I definitely get that one. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Colorado is a creepy place, Mike.
Yeah.
We have Egyptian princess who is joining the incredible discussions here tonight. She says, yes, Trump, Muslims and Jews don't get along. Nothing new. See, well, I didn't know that. I thought they did based on the last 2 years. That's something I learned new. Thank you for reminding us. We have people, Manny Lynn's asking, who's your daddy? Okay, well, Yeah. Who's Trump's daddy? That's incredible. But he had to remind us he's not Jewish. Yeah, Battle of the Bulge. I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, so that's what they're talking about. They're always going to AOC and what is AOC? Why is she the focus of the?
Nah.
The if we're going to get into the political talk, well, you don't want to be like AOC, do you? And I'm thinking, is AOC the most dangerous threat to our so-called democracy or democratic socialism? I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't get into the political football politics and all that stuff. It's meaningless. It's a popularity game at this point. That's how I see it. One more thing on this. We want to make sure that your Israeli fatigue is now gearing up. Now, if a lot of people don't want to see it, I won't show it, but you don't have to search far to find videos anywhere of the Israeli military, if not shooting, but arresting little kids with a can of vegetables. And why I'm very passionate about this. Look, I've been following the whole Israeli thing since 2009, and I've known about these atrocities and what have you. And what is dreadful for me and hard to take is that we're subsidizing this and we're funding this in our name. And this is why, we have a bad reputation, but I want no part of this. And I think we should all stop paying our taxes. Neil, I think that we have to start thinking outside of the cubicle confines of the corporate here. And I think we should all stop.
Oh my goodness. You just pushed a button. Oh man.
I did.
Ooh,
I did. And
wow. No, I'm like, I'm loving where you're going with that. Like you just, you hit me in that sweet spot right there, Dean. And if enough of us just said no, then it would all be over. It's just like we had an opportunity, especially Christians, especially the church. But I wouldn't even, I would go much further than that. In 2020, it was beyond that. It was people that just are free human beings. We had an opportunity to all just say, no, it's been a couple weeks. We're not flattening the curve. We don't care about your stupid virus. The world is the same as it was before this whole thing supposedly started. We're just going to keep carrying on. We're going to go to grandma's funeral. We're going to go to our kids' basketball game. We're not going to mask up. We are not going to go get some stupid shot. We're not going to 6 foot distance and all that. But we didn't do it, Dean. We failed as a society. We failed. So that was a test run, and they took advantage of us. And look what they're doing now. So now we have another opportunity. And that's where we're at right now. So you said, you know what, if enough of us just stop paying taxes, it's true. What if, I don't know, 50 million Americans just decided, I'm not going to pay taxes anymore? What are they going to do? Because it's a total myth anyway, to think that our tax money is going to fund, on a federal level, it's going to fund some, special infrastructure project in the United States or whatever. Our tax money is being used against us every step of the way. So enough of us need to say, no thanks, and pass the test. No, we're not going to fall for this psyop again. No, we're not going to go down this road again. There's going to be another pandemic that comes, and we're going to have to say, no, we're not complying with your silly rules. And now, I mean, to me, the biggest issue is the issue of Israel, which is on headlines every single day.
But isn't that the most, okay, you want to talk about long-lasting effects in the interim, outside of storming the Hamburger Hill over there in DC or whatever. Don't you think the stoppage of the taxes, just like they did with the tea bags in 1775? Don't you think that's the most surefire way to really stop funding ethnic cleansing and really stop funding all the, you mentioned pork, all the pork barrel spending? All the money laundering. I mean, Gavin Newsom alone, the alleged governor of California, the atrocities of the financial crimes this guy has committed and people's retirements.
Yeah.
I mean, he should be hung by his testicles in the street, Neil.
If you haven't done a deep dive, now I'm not going to disagree with that. Metaphorically speaking, right? Can we clarify that? In a very literal way. Pre-1871, pre-14th Amendment, there really was no federal government. And there was a huge amount of prosperity. The 1800s were not the old West where people were just walking around shooting each other and getting in gunfights in the streets. The 1800s were like a booming age for the United States, and it was state by state. You were a state citizen. There was no such thing as federal citizenship. And it's what if we have any chance at all to make it, we have to go back to it. And I'm hoping Texas will be the first one that comes out and says, hey, we're offering Texas state citizenship again, outside of federal citizenship. And we're only going to pay taxes on a local level. So we're not sending anybody's tax money off to the federal government anymore. That's what we have to go back to. But you think about it, pre-1871, we had a commander in chief, we had a military, basically. That's it. We had a couple people you'd send and represent us. That's it. Very limited government, very limited terms, nothing. But so we can do it again, you guys. But the problem is, it's kind of like, you want to have your cake and eat it too. Like we want a revolution, but we don't want to give up Walmart and the NFL. Which is it going to be?
We know your sweet spot, and we want to welcome all the new people. This is Real Deal Media Civics class. We'll thank you for joining us here tonight. There will be a pop quiz towards the end of tonight. And, thinking of civics class, Neil, my teacher told me back then, he was such a POS, he used to fry bologna in a microwave in the middle of the classroom. And then he told me, he said, Ryan, you plan on graduating? I said, yeah, I do. Well, no, I don't think so. He tried to fail me. And yeah. And if I ever see him, I'm going to kick his ass. I'll tell you that.
That traumatized you, didn't it?
Oh, there's a lot of things that traumatized me. That's right up there. We have Maddie Lynn, who's talking some smack on Neil. Yes. She said, I gave up Walmart long ago. Well, apparently yes. Neil hasn't. That's where he's getting his socks and skibbies from there. I want to transition into Candace Owens. Let's talk about that. An Egyptian princess. Yeah, Walmart is gross. Yeah, see, Neil has some issues, doesn't he? We'll have to talk about whether gross habits he has that he's hiding. So there's that one. And okay, what in the world is going on here with Candace Owens here? Because the last I heard is she went to go have a 4.5 hour meeting with Erica Kirk.
Erica, yeah.
I would not go to. I would think it's a trap, a booby trap.
Yeah.
And I wonder if she knows the difference between the Ericas. I wonder. So where are we now? What transpired from that? And I have a clip of I guess she went on Piers Morgan just moments ago.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, and I'm paying close attention to Candace. I've followed her pretty closely over the last couple of years, and in my mind, she's still one of the only ones that has a enormous platform and still has courage and isn't bought out. So I'm watching for signs and clues and saying, I still trust her. I do think that it was a mistake to have that meeting. So basically what happened is they offered to her, they said, hey, we'll come to you. We have some things that, we need to talk about. And she took them up on that offer. My concern was, Dean, is that they're trying to lure her in. I'm not saying like, hey, she got a call from Bibi or whoever and the deep state, whatever, and said, hey, we're going to give you $100 million if you come over to our side. Now, I wouldn't surprise me if she got a call like that, but I don't think that's what happened. I think what happens is they lure her in, make her feel like she's back on the team. Like, hey, it's not us against you. We're all on the same team here. We're all out for the same stuff. And I don't think, from watching her yesterday and today, she gave an update yesterday and today, I don't think that's happened with her. I don't even know if it's possible with her. I think she is rogue. Everybody's freaking out now. A lot of her followers, or they might even be bots. It may not even be her followers, but people that probably don't know her too well are saying, oh, she's bought out. She's sold out, this and that. I don't think so. I think she agreed to the meeting. In the meeting, there was no new information given. That she says there was no new information from their side. She still maintains all the, conspiratorial stuff, quote unquote, the questions that she's had. She still maintains that these are legit questions, and she's bringing up more stuff. Yesterday and today, she brought up even more stuff. she brought up the connection, and she's getting to it this week. Her main focus is the connection between the Egyptian planes that have been apparently following around Erica and Charlie for the last couple of years, and their connection to Israel. So here we go. All roads lead to, yeah, we know where. And so I don't have any concerns right now that she's like turn over to the dark side or whatever it is. And I wasn't really concerned about it in the first place. I just thought it might be a risky move for her to sort of let them in like that, because they have done nothing but marginalize her, make her sound crazy, lie about things. And I'll let you say something here, but I do want to say a very interesting thing that happened. So new piece of information with her and Erica Kirk.
Okay, and please do that. And yeah, the Egyptian airlines are pretty weird. And well, we have Egyptian Princess. She might know a thing about that. And I'm very familiar with Egyptian Airlines. I actually, when I was stranded in London, they dropped me off as closest to LA as they could, which was Costa Rica, which was rather interesting. But here's a clip of Piers Morgan and Candace Owens, who disappointed Neil in his strategy of combating the Ericas here. But we'll get back to that. Yeah, check this out, because Piers Morgan, he's the perfect villain. He knows how to play it well, and we love it.
What is your theory?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, what's your theory then? You must have an idea.
My theory is that we should investigate everything strange that happened on that day so we can figure out what happened.
But are you suggesting that? Are you suggesting
why is everybody
Egypt?
Why are we pretending that we don't know why we ask questions? Like, why? Like, you're a journalist.
You
know
what
this is. You're like, what's going on? What's going on?
Theory?
Why do you want to know why these planes were tracking Charlie? Well, my theory is that we are being sold absolute Fed slop. The media is doing their Operation Mockingbird Part 2 scenario by telling us, well, unless you absolutely have a conclusion, you can't even ask the question. Yes, we very well can. Keep asking consistent questions until we get a clarified explanation for what happened on that day. And right now, we have nothing, okay? And that is the reason why people are watching my show, because I'm the only one not treating them like they're absolute idiots who don't have two eyes and who believe in magic bully theory and who understand that Egyptian planes should not have been tracking Charlie even 3 times this year would be an anomaly, okay? They've been tracking him. We don't know where it's going to end, but we are going to keep asking questions until we get clear answers.
Candace, it may be that the person in the media spewing bullshit to the public is you.
No, nice try. It's not. It's
Could
you
be.
by saying, why are you asking questions? Don't you worry about Mikey's feelings? Everyone knows what this is. And like I said, because we have the example, the concrete example of after JFK's assassination, the media members quite literally being put on the payroll of the CIA. We have a historical example that we can look at and go, we're not doing that again. Doesn't matter how many times you keep telling the public that I'm spewing bullshit. It is only because there has not been anything that has come out of this investigation that makes any sense that the public is not listening to. I am sorry to say this, Piers, people like you. And what I love about you and I sitting down is that this exact same time last year, you were doing the same weird questioning and making all these things when I said that they were committing a Holocaust against the Gazans. And then you changed your mind.
Actually,
this time, I'll see you next year when you change your mind again.
Wow. That's more than a see you next year. That's a see you next Tuesday maneuver right there.
Oh, wow. You gotta love Candace, man. You gotta love Candace.
She is a firecracker.
Yeah.
She's a firecracker. But again, Piers, the perfect villain, the perfect heel. But his platform, well, I'll tell you later. We'll come back to that.
And more information about what happened. And you realize that the difference between me and you is that I have the courage to take the risks and ask the questions first, before it's popular. You wait until it becomes popular and then you change your mind.
Yeah, you wait until it becomes popular and then you change your mind. It's so true.
Candace now. Candace.
What's your theory? You must have a theory, Candace. Oh,
You're
my
spewing
goodness.
bullshit, Candace. That's not.
All I can think of every time I hear Piers Morgan, all I can think of is 1776 for some reason. I don't know. Why do I think that? Why do I think that?
I don't know. I wouldn't know whatever you mean by that. Here we have Mouth of the South saying, "I love her." Yes, I do.
She's good.
Back up. Thank you very much.
She's good.
We have Celtic Girl saying, "Bullshit spewing is you, Piers, always." Yes, Piers Morgan is such a hole. He's in a hole.
He's in a hole?
Sure.
Huh. Wonder what kind of hole he fell in. Oh.
Never mind.
Don't say it.
was going to say very dark. And anyways, we have Marjorie. She's the bomb. Yeah, see, I can't say that word either.
Metaphorically speaking.
Yes. Okay, but let's see what they're saying on Rumble here. Okay, we have Hammer Time. He says, I like booby trap. That's a good place to be stuck in. That's okay. Then we have another one. He says, Hammer Time, who's on fire tonight. Thank you, Hammer Time. I remember one nose dived once, pilots yelling something, snack bar. Why? You're talking about the honey roasted peanuts, which, by the way, M&Ms are their new feature, the honey roasted peanut M&Ms. It's just so you thought, there's my review for you. But she seems more fiery than ever. And I took a screenshot of this. You're familiar with Tim Pool's spat with her?
Yeah.
Correct.
What?
Ladies, for guys like Neil and us, and I'm thinking, guys, this is our soap opera, okay? You guys had Melrose Place, and this is our Melrose Place, right, Neil?
Yes.
Right? It's so captivating, and Erica Kirk, and the leather pants, but
rumor on the street, allegedly Tim Pool is actually a woman. I'm going to say allegedly at this point, but I'm just going to throw that out there. Nothing wrong with women. There's nothing wrong with women.
Let me pull up Piers Morgan. Let me pull up Piers Morgan. Neil, you actually believe that? You're going to sit here and tell me you believe that?
It's a theory, Pierce. I'm just asking questions here, okay? Is Tim Pool a woman? It's just a question.
You're spewing that bullshit. You're spewing that bullshit for the whole world to see, right? So this is what happened. Candace is not taking prisoners anymore. Yeah, don't get in her way. Here's what she said just last night, responding to Tim Cast, who she said, I was clear, bitch. I said that Charlie and I never used the same security people. So your point that I was being a hypocrite by critiquing their actions that day is complete and utter trash, or as we say, rubbish. In fact, I regularly critique Charlie and his security team, and I'm sure I could dig up those receipts. And not only did Tim Pool didn't stop there. I'm not even going to tell you what he said about Kim Iverson, who we love around here too. Tim Pool, did you hear? I can't repeat it. He said that she has problems with aromas. I actually,
you're using so much self-control tonight. I'm impressed.
I know, because we have some new audience on your end of the spectrum there, But what is curious to me, and we can ask anybody, is who do people respect the least or hate the most? Because it's kind of tied now between Tim Pool and Ben Shapiro. Neil, I couldn't tell you which one.
No, Ben wins that one still. It's the most hated. But Tim does wear it's kind of a similar thing on his head. So I think he's like, I mean, he's definitely turning into runner-up. Is it just coincidence, by the way, that Tim Pool, TP USA, Tim Pool USA, Turning Point USA? I mean, is that just coincidence, guys? Come on. Well, is this turning into Tim Pool USA? Is that who's actually running the show behind the scenes?
Well, Neil, I'm into coincidences, and you want to know what Tim Pool looks like without his do-rag on? Well, it's
yes,
right here.
We do. Oh,
that's him right there. Look at that.
There it is.
Look at that guy. He's the bad guy in James Bond right there.
Oh,
I believe it. Yeah, look at that. I could see my own reflection, can't you?
Yeah, the ears. He's got some interesting ears. Yeah.
You know what? That wasn't Tim Pool. That was Jonathan Greenblatt. Same thing.
Wow.
We have some people who said Celtic girl who's almost nearly on fire tonight. She says Tim called Candace a cuckoo. Yes, I know. He did. He went above and beyond.
I'm. You know what? Let me say this. Okay, I've had some disagreements with female podcasters before, and I've gotten into conversations with them about it online, and I've never freaked out, lost my temper, and called them the C word or a cuckoo or any other, choice word, because there's something in me. There's as a man, I'm not a Mormon, but I am a man. I am more man than woman. I think we discussed that a few weeks ago. And there's this value in me that now I just don't, I'm not going to say that about women. Now, if you're Hillary that's not really a woman. So that's where I make an exception. But
Well,
for the
she's
most
dead.
part, well, there you go.
Yeah, Hillary's dead, Neil. I don't know how to tell you, but you know who's not dead?
Makes me
Is
sad.
well, this is okay regarding Erica Kirk now, and I don't know too much about this. As
We're all over the place.
We segue out of that.
But we need to go back to Erica, though.
Yeah, we need to go back to Erica, who is very lonely, but really a lot seems to be coming out about her. You might know about this, and I think you guys have some other revelations to share before we go to break here. But look at this. Tell me what this is all about. Is our soap opera safari
You can't
continues?
make this up. You can't make this up.
So what is this here?
It's her ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
This is Erica's ex-boyfriend, who she says she wasn't dating for 5 years before she married Charlie, and now all this stuff's coming out about her past. Which, whatever. Would anybody really care? No. But it's kind of a Charlie lookalike who she dated before Charlie, and now he's going to go on a speaking tour for TPUSA, Tim Pool US, or excuse me,
Toilet Paper USA.
No, yeah. Turning Point. That's right. Turning Point USA. He's her ex-boyfriend who looks like Charlie is going to go on a speaking tour. I'm just like, I'm blown away, man. I don't understand it. Now, again, it's like, do you have a theory about it? What theory do you have? I don't have a theory about it. I'm just looking at it going, that's weird.
Wow.
I don't know. It's weird that she kind of allegedly has lied about her past.
That's the original Erica too.
That's the original Erica. The one that you see speaking publicly is much different than that.
Interesting.
And it's just odd. Why did she? First of all, I guess from what I understand, she lied about it. She wasn't single for 5 years beforehand. And everywhere you turn with this woman, she's involved in something else. There's some other weird thing. And now she's going to have her lookalike ex-boyfriend go on a speaking tour for TPUSA. Next, she's going to have Tim Pool USA going on a speaking tour with. But
Neil, just to play the devil and the advocate, could it be said that maybe they were not official? They were just friends with beneficials.
You could say anything you want, Dean. Anything. Now here's another thing. Can I get to another thing about this though?
And by the way, they're no match to these guys right here. Okay, go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, totally unrelated. So here's the biggest revelation to me over Candace over the last day or two, and this is something that she shared yesterday. And you guys, you got to follow this. Just got to think about this for a second. This is so strange, and it was kind of just glossed over. Even by Candace, she maybe talked about it for 2 minutes and then just kind of kept going. But so what happened was, Erica Kirk has at least. So this is provable. This is not a theory. She has come out over the last week and said she went on an interview with somebody. I don't remember which interview it was. She does like 10 interviews a day, and she said Charlie never. There were no texts of Charlie saying he was concerned for his life. There were no texts. Very just emphatically. And that's when she said, and I have his phone and there's no texts. Now, Candace had claimed that there were texts. And you know who else claimed that there were texts? Is the good pastor of Charlie, who in an interview said there was a text that Charlie, I believe it was the day before, that it was September 9th, that Charlie was concerned that somebody was going to kill him. And he had expressed before specifically that he felt unsafe about changing his view on Israel and pulling his support for the state of Israel, who was committing, the war crimes that they've been committing and all that kind of stuff. Erica Kirk had previously said that's not true. Candace lied. In the meeting with Candace, Erica corrects herself and says, I'm sorry, I was just looking at Charlie's phone and not his other social media messages. So you're trying to tell me then what Erica Kirk was. So she confirmed that Charlie had messaged saying, I'm concerned for my life, that somebody's going to kill me. She confirmed that was actually true. What they initially were attacking Candace over, saying it is because Andrew Colvett told Candace that as well. He said that Charlie texted that too. And now Erica turned, and so you're telling me that Erica Kirk didn't know until Candace brought it up that her husband was messaging saying, I'm concerned for my life, and Erica just learned that by watching the Candace Owens show. Or
right.
is it more sinister? And was Erica Kirk lying about that? And they got, because you know what? It's something that you're
or Neil, just to be another to add another
tell me.
this whole thing is fake, and these aren't real
That's a
people.
big
You know,
or.
Erica
And
Kirk is
that's a
not.
big
They're
or.
characters. They're characters. Charlie Kirk is a spinoff of Charlie Kirkland. These are all like FBI kids.
Yeah.
How about that? How about
I
that?
mean,
Neil?
it could be. I mean, and his name is,
Huh.
Charlie, that starts with a C, and his last name K, Kirk, starts at that C is 3,
Exactly.
K is 11, it's 33. There was 33 all over at his booth when he was.
Whoa.
So there was something going on there. But here's the thing, though. No matter what's happening, as Grandma always used to say, it's much easier to tell the truth than it is to lie. Because when you tell the truth, you just tell exactly what you remember. When you tell a lie, you have to keep remembering it over and over again. And these people have been caught in numerous lies trying to remember, what did we say? What did we say about that? Did we say that Charlie said he was concerned for his life? No, we didn't say that. So you have Andrew on saying that he never said that he did say that. Erica saying that he didn't. And then she admits to Candace that she realizes, oh, well, because of your investigation, Candace, I found out that my husband actually was concerned for his life. You can't tell me she didn't already know that. They're just trying to keep it hidden or away from the public. It's crazy.
Here we have Maddie Lynn saying, "Indeed, Neil, Maddie, please don't encourage. We have to move on."
I love it, Maddie. I love it.
We could go 3 hours on this. We have also Celtic Girl, who is still on fire. Then Erica said, "Oh, I guess he left messages on Telegram."
Oh,
In her
I didn't think to check his other messages. But we're not going to leave any stone unturned. No stone unturned.
Who goes on Telegram to be, I forget all the time. So you can't really
probably the same
say
people that go on Signal. I can't stand those people, by the way.
Okay, Neil, that's strike 2 for tonight. Yeah, and we know we've seen this before. I still can't get past the just the scriptedness of it all. Okay, we have a break coming up here.
Scripted.
When we get back, we're going to continue our marathon on about everything Candace, as we are the Candace #1 fans. We're her fanboys, I guess. No, we're going to continue a bit more on that, but also I want to get into Venezuela and what seems to be happening down there. Some really wild, fanatical stuff. I guess we're not. We're going to be invading the land soon. So hey, Neil and I, we could be drafted just like all the other American boys around here, and I'm not excited about that. So, anyways, stand by there as you are watching Real Deal Media Live right here, our first night on X American News. Yeah, it's so good to be back on that. 3rd time's the charm, and 2 times a lady. We'll be back after this quick message. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, get away from me. Hey, what's that? Oh, God, that's cold. What's wrong with you? See, I'm trying to get ready for the weather connection. Come on, Bubbles. Bubbles, where are you? Oh, Bubbles, where are you? Oh, there you are. Oh, there. Come here, young lady. It's winter time. It's your favorite time of the year, Bubbles. Aren't you happy? We're going to have all your friends in town. We're going to have a lot of new toys to play with. Get over here, boy. Let's go for a little ride. Oh, we're going to do some training now. Here we go. Oh, My Little Pony. Oh, come on. Hee-haw, hee-haw, you-haw. How? Hee-hee-hoo. Well, folks, this is what we got for you here. Real Deal Media's Winter Collection 2025, and I'm so excited. Well, here's a little Keebler. Oh, there is the Pizza Elf. Yeah, then we have Casno Shadow mugs and a little cardigan to go with it. And don't forget that wonderful Twilight Zone type of shirt. Then we have the World at War series mugs, and I sure love them, don't you? You're gonna get a little cold and frosty, put a little hoodie on, and look at these boys, they're ready to play. Right on your t-shirt, but sure time to say goodbye, Bubbles. Say goodbye. Best deal in town, oh, isn't he just a little cutie patootie? Come on, time to go have a little chicken dinner. It's a deal, partner, put it there. The Real Deal Media's Winter 2025 collection is now here. I am excited. Oh, God. Hey, man, come on. Special shoot's over. Get off me. Oh, somebody. God, this happens every year.
Okay, we are back. We are back, but we wouldn't be here without our Real Deal Media Night Owls, the visionaries with debonaires, the players from the Himalayas. Yes, you can be all of that and be iconic too and not ironic. And all you got to do is go to realdealmedia.tv, join the movement, join the moment, and don't be just another tactic and another tallywhack. Do you even know what I'm talking about here? Tallywhack, paddywhack. It's very complicated stuff.
Wackadoodle?
Yes. Yes. It's years and years of that. Yes. Just go to realdealmedia.tv and all your dreams will come true for your mind. The rest will follow. And a big thank you to all those who have donated to the incredible, the wonderful givesendgo.com/realdealgo. You make it possible. You know who you are out there. Yes, you do. And Neil, I am excited as you are, aren't you? What are you doing Saturday? Well, let's hope you're joining us for the Melvis Presley's Christmas special. Premieres this Saturday, December 20th, 10 p.m. Eastern. You don't want to miss it. The long-lost brother of the so-called king, well, he's coming back to reclaim what is rightfully his in the Christmas special form. And yeah, stolen valor. It goes well beyond the military. I know Neil's excited as just anybody. It is rather riveting. And then, prayer comes in many forms. Somebody sent this to me, and I'm still trying to figure out what was going on here the other night. Both men were, praying deep thoughts, and or there was something on their feet that I was unaware of. So you can feel free to caption that at your own accord here. And okay, we are back now. We are back to the one and only, yes, Real Deal Media Live. I am still TheRealDeanRyan, and I believe we have Neil here. Let's welcome back to the stage the one, the only Neil.
Yeah.
Thank you out there. Yeah, you got a few fans out there. Thank you very much.
Do you think that Trump looks like Elvis? Like, do you think Elvis as an old man would look like Trump? Okay.
No. There's no way.
No, I was just wondering if there's like any resemblance, because Trump has compared himself to Elvis, and he's like, posted on Truth Social pictures of himself and Elvis together and things like that.
Well,
so, I don't know.
Well, a lot, just like the people that said 107 is what is it, JFK Jr.?
or whatever. Oh my gosh!
But I'll tell you this:
trust me, I know I have personal knowledge of this. Okay.
Well, that's the hard part. Trusting you, I can't. I don't
just
know
trust me on this one.
I don't know if I can. I'm not ready to trust yet. But here's what's interesting about, speaking of JFK Jr., and I've never heard about JFK Jr. more in my life than I did in the year 2020. That's for sure. But there has been a lot of talk now that JFK Jr. really was not the son of JFK.
Oh, I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah. Now there's another gentleman whose last name is Quimbley, who's claiming that he's the true legitimate son of the slain president. And that's why I'm saying, it's not crazy to think that, Melvis was the twin of Elvis that we were told never survived, but clearly he has. He's been a part of our franchise here at least 2 or 3 times. But here's what I'm saying, Neil, is if you look at JFK Jr. and you look at John F. Kennedy Sr., they really don't look alike. In fact, many people have said that he looks like Onassis, and that his magazine George was a homage to his true father, George Onassis. That's pretty wild stuff, isn't it?
Wow. No, I'm actually curious about that. I'm going to look that up. Now, have you no, I'm not recommending people watch this movie, but there's a movie called Eyes Wide Shut. with Tom Cruise. Are you familiar, Dean? Are you you haven't watched that, have you? I'll be really disappointed if you've seen that.
Yeah, here's Eyes Wide Shut right here.
I've
seen it. I've seen it.
That's
Uh-huh.
that's one of the more cleaner clips from the movie.
There's the 2 stars right there. Yeah, there it is.
Well, there's the interesting thing about that is, since we're on this JFK thing for just a second,
Yes, we are.
is Eyes Wide Shut. You guys can look this up on your own time, but the year that it was, the almost to the date that it came out, is when JFK Jr. supposedly died in the the plane crash or whatever, which happened to be when he was running against Hillary for a Senate seat and all that kind of stuff. But they made this movie, Eyes Wide Shut, and it mirrors in many ways the life of JFK Jr. and his wife, who was a cocaine addict, and JFK Jr. was a womanizer and all this stuff. But Eyes Wide Shut goes into the back door of all this, where the people that get sucked in, the people that get booby trapped, we'll say, honeypotted and that kind of stuff. But at the very beginning of the movie, this is the last thing I'll say about it, Tom Cruise is reading the newspaper, and his character in Eyes Wide Shut, and on the front page of the newspaper, it says, what you see as it's zooming into him, it says, "Lucky to be alive." And then the director, it's some people believe, or they surmise, the director was trying to expose that JFK Jr. actually did not die in that plane crash.
Who's the what director are you speaking about?
Just have to. You'd probably know who it is.
Well, I do know, but we have to play trivia sometimes. Kubrick, Stanley Kubrick.
Yep.
Stanley. Yeah. So Stanley Kubrick, he died during the making of that film. He died. If you watch the film where it ends of the child, the daughter, being whisked away, ever so slightly by 2 grown men, and then the credits come. It's just a bizarre ending. Meaning, so he dies, and then they altered the ending. It was so unsatisfying. There was no closure of what really happened because he got too close. And everyone should check that movie out. Kubrick's
I
Odyssey.
think, if I remember right, I think it was released. The movie debuted on the day that JFK Jr. supposedly died. And there you have, I believe so. And on the front page of the paper, it just so happens to read "Lucky to be alive," because there's the big conspiracy that there was a missing seat in that plane, and that these people that die, like Kobe, supposedly died in a helicopter crash. People that died in plane crashes.
Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah. Kobe, he died too in a helicopter. I forgot about that.
See, well, I
forgot about that.
We'll have to do a show on this, because I don't know if he died or not, but that's what we're told happened. And who dies? And that's like the best helicopter you can buy in the world. Him and his daughter just happened to crash in this helicopter. And then before that, the week before at his game, guess what they're handing out? They're handing out little helicopter toys to people, with a little Kobe thing inside of them. And it's like, oh, okay. The predictive programming kind of stuff. But I happen to be in Los Angeles in January of 2020 when that happened, right around the same time the scary COVID was breaking out. And we actually were going to take a helicopter ride over to an island, but they were canceled because of the crash that supposedly.
Wait, are you telling us right now? Are you telling us that you were a procurer going to a certain island?
That's not what I said, Dean. And we talked about this before. You're not supposed to take things out of context that I say. We're going to have a conversation about this after we're done.
Can I also add too, every time Neil's in the same city as me, he seems to not know where I am that weekend. Every time, I swear to you, this happens.
Oh, I know where you are.
I've never met the man. We have a lot of people who are chiming in. We have a lot of people that, who are chiming in for serious styles here. We have Celtic Girl, I've been learning a lot about JFK for the past few months now. I think he was really a good man. I don't care about his private life and scandal stuff. He was a very sickly man too. And he was also a man that did acid with Willie Nelson on the roof of the White House. Yeah, who can say that? I mean, if I told you about my last acid story, it's rather disappointing and very defeating.
Well, and look, Dean, on that note, though, not on your acid stuff. We'll talk about that
Oh.
later. But on the JFK stuff,
Yeah.
like, think about it in context of what happened on September 10th. Do we actually know what happened on September 10th? So what makes us think we know that history is telling us accurately what happened
That's
to
true.
JFK? Come on,
That's
guys.
true.
Come on. Did he really get shot that day even? I mean, we got to look
Oh,
at all.
I
we
mean,
gotta look at
I
all-
think he did, but I think it was the driver, as William Cooper
That's a good
thinks as
theory.
well.
Yeah.
I found it very interesting that Jackie was hired by the CIA in 1954 as a photographer, which what's his name? Anderson Cooper. I mean, was he ever not a CIA guy? So there's so many holes in that
There
piece.
are, and Jackie's a strange character. And you know who else was a strange character? Is Marilyn Monroe. And I'm not even going to tell you what my conspiracy is about that individual. I'm not even going to tell you because I don't want your audience will think I'm really crazy. And I don't want you guys. I want you guys to really like me. I don't want you to think I'm too crazy. So I better not
Well,
say
it's
anything.
too late for that. Okay, so here's I want to show something that I was advised to watch. Okay, and I was supposed to show it last night, and the video got deleted. So thus far, this anonymous person who sent me the video, she said, well, it was being covered on another show, so we're going to watch a show through another show. But after this, I want to talk about it, but I also want to rehash and reopen the Isaac Cappy murder, if you're not familiar with that, because I have some things that I'm debating in my head, like a game of table tennis, whether I share or not, because I'm sworn as you can see.
Oh, I'm excited.
I may just tell you. I may just tell Neil privately because.
We'll have a private meeting like Candace and Erica. We'll have a Neil and Dean.
4 hours. Okay. 4 hours. 4 hours, and my team will be there as well. Okay, so this we're about to watch now, I was told it will change the paradigm of what's truly happening. Not that I want to hype it up like Geraldo did with the Al Capone situation, but sometimes it might be better than that. Yeah, Neil watched DEFCON 0 last night, didn't he? Rebel Mama asked. I think so, and Eyes Wide Shut as well. Yeah, I think so.
Yikes.
Okay, so we're gonna watch this now, and this is called 2025, and it's pretty chilling, and that's just the music in its own right. So let's have a gander at it, and then I'll share my thoughts on it after. It's going to be maybe disturbing, so brace yourselves, and make sure you have your security blanket with you. It's going to get rough. Here it is.
The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and a thirst for respect. They should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful to follow, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country.
That Trey's arms and leg were broken. The coroner was back saying that he didn't see broken bones in his exam.
You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't.
I'm well acquainted with feelings I live in my bed. They beg me to write them so they'll never die when I'm dead. I've grown familiar with feelings I live in my head. They beg me to write them so I'll never die when I'm dead. Too bigger than my body, I'm colder than this road. I'm meaner than my demons. I'm bigger than these bones. And all the kids cry out, please stop, you're scaring me. I can't let this go. Energy, goddamn right. You should be scared of me. Who isn't?
I'm going to stop it there just a little bit because I'm sure I've got like 10 copyright strikes just for that song of whoever that is alone. I think the gist of the film, from what I see here, and this is the first time I've seen it, is that the Charlie Kirk event is a psychological operation that's being used to drive a wedge between fragments within, the so-called the conservative, so the right. It's being used to drive fragments that ultimately in one big pressure cooker for the perfect storm of a civil war, which is why I've often shared my analysis of why I think the National Guard is in these particular cities. It's nothing to do with migrants, I believe, just the meatpacking migrants. It's because they're preparing us for a civil war, which has a lot to do with ultimately a distraction, because a lot of people have figured out the true adversary of this country isn't China after all, and it's something else. And what better way to get out of Dodge than to get us to hit ourselves and hate ourselves and have a civil war, to burn it all down. That's my take from that. Neil, would you like to follow that? Because that's
Wow.
pretty dastardly here.
No, it's deep. And you're I think you're onto something, because what actually is the psyop? I mean, whether these events actually happen or not, there's always an agenda being pushed, and a cultural war happening, that they're trying to cause upheaval and unrest. If we have the worldview, which I do, and I think you do too, that the powers that be do not want us to be peaceful and thriving. They want the opposite. They want us to be fighting in a war. We're like, but there's the black ants and the red ants in the jar, and they don't fight until someone comes over and shakes the jar. Once they shake the jar, they start fighting. And so the Charlie Kirk psyop could be, and they may have foreseen this, we could wedge this crazy division between, conservatives who are pro Charlie and pro Israel and this and that, and those who are, I think, thinking more critically about it, and kind of this Candace Owens type of division there. And I mean, if they foresaw that far ahead, kudos to them. I mean, they are playing real 5D chess here, because initially you thought, oh, okay, this is going to be a civil war between the LGBTQ left-wing Satanists and all of us conservatives and all that. But now the wedge is being driven much deeper than that. And people are very emotional about this one. I mean, it's hitting something. It's hitting that red button for sure.
It's right, and there's the Sandy Hook element to it as well. How could you? And then the JFK element to the Charlie thing, and these are created characters. I mean, the odds are like 1,000,000,000 to 1, if not 1,000,000,000,000 to 1, that the exact same storyline with the exact same character names were literally copy and pasted onto this one right here, who with a character of Charlie Kirk, whose birthday just happens to be on the other fake dead black guy named George Floyd.
It's so weird. And you add in the elements of the movie, the 1999 movie that this whole thing was based on, Charles Kirkland being shot in the neck.
98.
98. Okay. Yeah. Snake eyes and all. It's crazy. So yeah, you definitely get the impression that we're watching a script play out. And I think what's giving some of us a headache is like trying to figure out, well, what was Charlie Kirk's role in this, and who actually was Charlie Kirk, and was it like a Truman Show kind of thing where he thought he was living a certain life? And there are some that are saying that he was starting to question his own wife about his wife's support for him, and whether
I didn't
he
think
was
about that.
sort of honeypotted.
So he could be like this. He could have been like this test tube baby with unknown parents. He could have been, just grown from the underground and given this identity that he thinks is real, but everyone around him knows it's not. Oh my God, Neil, you just
I think it's a possibility when you, especially when you look at the last 5 to 6 years of his life, which I really hadn't much paid attention to until now. But you go, man, things were set up perfectly for him. And then you look at all these TP USA players and how clean cut and like right on script they are. It feels like we're living in the freaking Truman Show.
Right. And this goes into, you know, I always thought it was weird how, you know, you have all these hate speech, anti-Semitic laws that just, boom, came out of nowhere, you know, 2 years ago.
Right.
Like what the hell? We just figured out something happened. Now we're told that, you know, what? And many people like myself, we don't even have Jewish people where I live. I've never even met one hardly.
Yeah. We don't even, we don't care.
Right.
Like, yeah, what are you
you're in Texas.
legislation for? Yeah.
Yeah, when you see a Jewish cowboy, you know, and with little curly cues, it's so. You said
That's
earlier.
the crazy thing about it. It doesn't matter, and especially with the young crowd now, nobody cares, and they're trying.
But it's being used.
Yes,
it's being used.
Yep.
And what I've figured out here, they're doing it to the Commonwealth now, the Israelis, because they put it out there first. Because they're getting rid of the heavy-handed influence of China that's in Canada and Australia, for instance. And what better way to do that than to put their laws into passage through their legislations, just like when China took over Australia and the UK and Canada in the 90s. Well, they had to do the false flags in Port Arthur in Australia to get the guns out. They had to do the false flag over there in the children's school in 1996 over there in Scotland to get the guns out fully. And then Canada, well, they looked out. They got the SARS of 1998 before the Chinese moved in. So there's always these pretexts before the big takeover by the conglomerate superpower shadowy groups that's using the bigger countries and their militaries to take over. So this is what's happening here. In a big pull, they're just using the Charlie Kirk, who, in my view, his stock was falling down big. That's why I never believed it was a political hit job of a lunatic left, which then you had some of the right that was applauding it so they could, take their guns away. Well, guess what? And Neil and I are considered the lunatic left. And, you know, some of us are a bit more lunatic than others, but still, that's what they're using as the precursor of a complete fascist takeover. That's a very well-driven point. I'm perplexed, Neil.
Well, we need to encapsulate your last 2 minutes, and you need to watch it later and turn it into a reel, because that was really, really good. One of the first times that I've really thought what you said was good.
Wow.
Dean.
First time he's ever heard me. And he wants to embalm me and take me to the taxidermy already.
Well, you think about how much they've been trying so hard to do this in the US. The biggest one to me, I mean, obviously you've got the 9/11s and all that, but was the Sandy Hook thing. And I don't know if you guys remember, because that was a big wake-up call to me, Sandy Hook. But if you remember, it was so insane that, I mean, there's so many things. I could list a dozen things about it that were just completely insane that tell you it was a complete false flag. And I think that's one of the ones that actually didn't even really happen. But we can talk about that later. The funniest one, where you actually laugh out loud, where the parents of a little girl who they're on there trying to just muster up emotion. They look like a total Truman Show type of parents, you know, this just picture perfect family. And it was like their 9-year-old daughter that they claimed had gotten shot in Sandy Hook. And they said they were interviewing with Katie, what's her name? I don't even know. She was the big whatever interviewer, 60 Minutes or whatever she was, Katie something at the time. And she's like,
Katy Perry?
No,
Katy
not
Perry?
Katy Perry, a different one. Kirk or something like that. Katie
Kirk.
Katie
Kirk. Wow,
I don't know.
Man, we got to
Who
get off the
knows?
Kirks.
It doesn't even matter anymore.
Neil really loves the Kirk family. Yes, continue.
But here's what was crazy. She was interviewing these parents, like, you know, can you tell me about your daughter? And they said, yeah, here's what we have to say about her. This was her last drawing. She drew this picture, and it was of you know, a policeman and a military person, and they had guns, the police and the military. And she put on the picture that she drew, you know, if only we could just have military and police with guns and nobody else, then we'd be safe. And those were her last words. The last thing that she said before she died was that she just didn't want anybody except military and police to have guns. And we're just so emotional about it. So just to your point, they've been doing this for a long time. Their problem is it's not working in the United States. So what do they do next? If they can't get our guns, which if they already got our guns, we would be like Australia right now. We would be in total lunatic prison right now. If they can't get our guns, they have to create enough chaos for us to fight each other and to take up arms
That's
and
right.
to kill ourselves. That's what they're going to have
That's
to do.
right. Well, and that's why I think it's so important to point out the fraud. I think it's
For
so
sure.
important to we talk about conspiratorial things. You mentioned Sandy Hook. Well, I think it's important people like what Jim Fetzer's done, who, by the way, has been in touch with two of the crises actresses, the so-called mothers of the dead, and that pretty much validated everything that people like him and others have said. That, yeah, we got paid to do it. We regretted. We thought it was just a drill. We don't know how to come out and say that otherwise. They could probably get killed for doing it. But I mean,
Wow.
just the doctor alone, who actually, oddly enough, looked like Rob Reiner, look-alike, the meathead guy. Oh my God, it was the most crack pottery thing I've ever seen in my life.
He was out of his mind. The coroner, he was out of his mind. He was laughing at questions they were asking. They were like, he's like, yeah, they got shot. Yeah.
Oh, it was the most.
It was
weird. Remember Anderson Cooper and his nose from the green screen? It was the most cockamamie thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And when they did an aerial view of it, it wasn't like Columbine, which, okay, did they use Columbine? Of course. Did it actually happen? Yes, I believe it did. But unlike Columbine, the Sandy Hook, there was no activity. There was no running around. Nobody was panicking.
No.
There was nothing. And it was like they literally almost built this entire little community just to have this event.
Yeah. Well, see, that goes into all my Sandy Hook stuff is coming back from what I recall. Yeah, the school was closed from asbestos.
Yeah.
The entire city were paid, six figures by the United Way, the NFL. That's why the kids went down there to sing at the halftime Super Bowl, just months later. And that happened December 13th. What happened just recently, December 13th? Does anyone remember? Because I have memory issues now. Who can remember? Let me look at the Rumble chat as we have that. And as I'm looking at that, let's look at and remember the original Erica Kirk, who is
there. She is
much more appealing than I think Erica Kirk number 2, which these are all fake. What happened on December 13th? What was the big news event? Oh yes, the Australian shoot up. That was back then, which we found out. This is the best part about that one too, Neil. Which I'm going to release that as a segment. Is you had the incredible, sleepy, boring Prime Minister Albanese saying, and they're all saying in unison. They're like, "Well, all we know is that the father and son duo, they went to the Philippines where they were just motivated by Islamic ideological differences. That's all we know. It's still under investigation, but we know they went to the Philippines for a motivational speech."
Oh my goodness.
They're laying it out. So when we hear about the Muslim takeover, my question is, how do you think the Muslim takeover, the Muslims per se, how do you think they're getting where they're going? Who's bringing them there? And how are you positive that that's a Muslim and not what the shooter here from Australia was? Oh, Mr. David Cohen. How do you know they're not a bunch of David Cohens that just decide not to shave for a week? You ever think about that? And then it's called the Kalergi Plan to flood the West with the third world and use their Neanderthal class, as they called them, to rid us of our identity, our racial makeup, everything that we knew and remembered. And then when they're done with the mongrels, they shoot them. So this is what that is. Muslims just don't get to Dearborn, Michigan, or Minnesota, Somalis by themselves. It was for a later date. It'd be like sending the most cringiest, the Avondale Sevenths or whoever of the Christian wings, and that represents all Christians.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
And
You know what I mean?
Are you implying at least that we can't trust what the news tells us? Am I hearing you right?
I'm implying. Here's what
Dean?
I'm implying. I'm implying that if people really knew Muslims, I was friends with 2 Muslim guys in high school. I didn't even know they're Muslim. You'd be surprised
Yeah.
to learn that they're just like regular people and not the Osama bin Laden lookalikes that we're led to believe, because that's being used by Israel for us to fight their wars for them. And I'm for one, I'm tired of their psyops. I'm
Well,
tired of them.
isn't it weird though that so many people can question 9/11 now, but when they
Yes.
hear a current news story, they just believe the narrative right away. Like, why? I'm always like, if they say that 2 Muslims, a father and son, did a shooting in Australia, immediately, I'm my immediate go-to is they're lying. Now they may not. Now, is it totally beyond the scope of reason that a couple extremist Muslims would go and shoot people up? Of course not. I mean, that can happen. So, but my immediate reaction to these things is that's not the way the news is telling us. Where what I'm seeing, even by my friends that I feel like are awake and stuff, they're still reposting this stuff immediately when it happens. Like, oh, look at what happened. These 2 Muslims shot up. All you know is that the news reported something that happened 8,000 miles away or however far away. Like, you don't know what happened. And so, but our go-to is still the brainwashing is so strong. The programming so strong. We can question 9/11. We can question Sandy Hook. We're questioning COVID, which some of us, I'm not bragging, but I was questioning COVID on day 1. I knew it was a hoax. I knew it was a lie when I saw the Chinese white vans pulling up and throwing these people that were in their little hazmat suits, throwing people in vans that were dying on the streets and all this stuff. I'm like, that's a psyop. But now we see, okay, Charlie Kirk was shot by this, LGBTQ plus, gay soy boy, whatever. Why do you automatically believe that? And your immediate reaction should be that's likely very not true.
Well, here's an example of what Neil's saying, and the LGBTQ plus. That's another discussion too, because you want to talk about, Israel is exploiting their own. BLM started by Susan Rosenberg, not even black people, but however, exploiting their own. LGBTQ communist outfit exploiting their own. You see, the protected class put in there is always exploiting their own. The Hannibal directive, the IDF shooting all the Israelis at the festivals. I mean, okay, now to Neil's point here, and then we'll move on, and we'll get back to Erica Kirk and or Candace. No. We're going to talk about Isaac Happy as promised, and then we'll skedaddle out of here because there's so much. Yeah, it's past his bedtime, and we might have to postpone something. Look at this here. So this is a friend of mine, Miss Kim Crawl. I happened to stumble upon this. Well, look what she says. I miss the days I didn't know who Erica Kirk was. Well, don't we all? Don't we all?
Wow.
Right. Don't we all? Now, that could be considered insensitive. However, she is a comedian, but my other friend,
anti-Semitic.
My other friend who is conservative, this is what he said to it. And it shows you how we're all being played here in the Plato's Cave is an example. Well, here's my friend Adam. Her husband was murdered by an awful leftist lunatic, brainwashed by the same ugly and insane rhetoric you all regurgitate, which I finally know how to spell that. Thank you, Adam. Leaving her widowed and his children fatherless, and all you sick psychopaths can do is continue to insult her. The modern left is a mental health crisis. You are just evil, dark, broken, and hateful people. So, Neil, that implies you as well, and myself for that fact. But you see what this is doing. These are like fake arguments about fake people.
Right. And lots of those types on the so-called conservative side saying comments like that are bots. Like they're not even real people, I think, just to try to instigate that kind of division between the left and the right.
That's right. I mean, now Adam, who I know very well, Adam, you want to say credit? He's not. He has bot tendencies, no doubt about it. He's a guy that took the. He took
Uh-oh,
the 2 miracle jabs.
He
took the 2 miracle
Oh,
jabs.
boy. Yeah.
He is a believer. He's what we know and call a status. Okay, it calls a status. So there's that one there. Okay,
There's a
so
lot of those. There's a lot of those in the Christian world that are just completely and totally sold out to Israel, sold out to a lot of them are taking the jabs. A lot of my Christian friends are just hook, line, and sinker with the Tyler Robinson narrative. I don't know what to make of it. Kind of odd.
Well, well, clearly they just don't have the brain prowess that you have, and they need to catch
True.
up because we're too late in the game. Neil, that's going to bring us to something very interesting. As well, here it is. Brought to you by Real Deal Media's Give, Send, Go, because to give a little, you get a lot. But to forgive, you must give. Give yourself a chance and go to givesendgo.com/realdealgo. Oh, there I am. Final thoughts here, and we're going to start with Neil Bishop, the man who has been a biographer for 2 women. Guess who those are? One of them's fake.
Well, I think here's a good final thought. Wake up, sleepers, and rise from the dead, and Christ will give you light. How about that for a final thought? The time is coming and is now here when people will hear the voice of the Son of God, and all those who hear will live. And I think that we need to be looking for that voice that is above all this just mass chaos and confusion. God's the God of order. I invite you all to look for that God, the God of order and peace, who's above all of these things.
And that's hard to follow, but I think I can. I can now announce, this is breaking news, just happening now. Dan Bongino has announced his resignation from the FBI. This just happened.
He gone.
This just happened.
What's he going to tell?
Wow.
How long? So just based on what you know just right now, or your theory, what's your theory about how many pages the NDA that he signed is? How many page NDA, I wonder?
More than the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
More than the Dead Sea Scrolls, that I can tell you. So wow, that's pretty wild stuff there.
Well, so
Wow.
so Dean, people, I'm like, don't have hope that Dan Bongino, unless, I mean, he surprises me, which would be great. He's not going to come out giving any inside information. He wants to go. I don't blame him. He wants to go back to his podcast and live the life he was living before. I'm sure this is ridiculous what he's involved in.
Can he really go back to the podcast?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, look at all the damage he's done to whatever credibility he had before going into it. I mean, can he really even go back to that?
Well, once yes. I think the straight answer is yes. I don't know if it'll ever be like it was before, but I would follow the guy if he'll just say, screw the NDA. Our country's more important. I'm gonna fill you guys in on what exactly is going on here. Did he leave because of the pressure of this whole Charlie Kirk thing? And does he know that the FBI knows what's going on? And is he sworn to secrecy on that?
He was paid very handsomely to scrub the Epstein files. That just came out in a FOIA request. He's as dirty as can be. Well, think about it too. I know we said final thoughts and goodbye, but that's out the window now.
And I had such good spiritual final thoughts to it.
It means nothing now. I mean, you think about this too. This was a guy, Dan Bongino was a guy that was the the Secret Service guy of the Obamas, right, in the Clintons, and knows all the dirty details to the fact that the Clintons used to put crack pipes on their Christmas tree, and he never talks about this at any great length, as seen on TV right there, my right and Neil's left. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't know anything, but what he does know is Vladimir Putin's a bad guy, and he has a heavy heart for Israel.
He loves Israel.
I mean, he's a total weirdo.
Yeah.
And He's also connected to, this is the big one here, he's connected to Sandy Hook Promise. That is the Obama organization with Sandy Hook that is vying with the
Whoa.
Bloombergs to get rid of all of the, yes, you guessed it, firearms. And what does Dan Bongino own? Rumble. And who's been frozen at 2.7K now for 3 years on Rumble? Yours truly, right here. Any coincidence? You put it to, he's not a good guy.
Dean, you always take us down these rabbit holes of stuff that I did not know. It's amazing. Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's what I hate about myself. I hate it and love it too. But he's doomed. Oh, and his wife divorced him too.
Oh, I didn't know that either. Oh,
and he's such a genius. He got a miracle jab. Now he's going through what is it like chemo and everything. He's done.
That's right. So and you're totally right. And that's when I started losing respect for some of these guys. The Mark Levins of the world. Go get the jab. If you need a blood thinner, go take a blood thinner. But get the
Did you
jab.
ever have meaning you had respect for Mark Levin at one time?
I don't. Well, probably like 20 years ago, maybe. But yeah, I forgot that Dan was the jab guy too. I mean, that's so many hits against this guy. Wow.
Yeah, he'll do this great. He'll do a great deep dive on the Russian collusion, how it's a bunch of hocus pocus, but we'll reach the same conclusion as our intelligence agencies that, but Putin's a bad guy, just like Nick Fuentes. He'll give you all this information about history of the Zionists. He'll carry the water that this was a political hit job against Charlie Kirk. That should tell you right there. So people that are truly independent-minded. Like these two up here, it's sad to say where your choice is right now, but that's where it is. We're the ones who are not invited to the table. We're not allowed into the casino. And when we do, we have to be very coy about it. Or, this guy who, by the way, sits on the head of the Department of Homeland Insecurity's advisory board. Did you know? And his son is in the White House, the State Department. This is the blowhard. This is the treasonous pig that is taking down our country to save his Talmud-influenced, feckle, treasonous, two-faced little island in there.
They're getting exposed, and little Nicky is exposing himself. He's getting, I don't know if he's getting paid or if he's just doing it out of pride to come after Candace. He's coming after her so hard, and he keeps affirming that he believes the
Nick
narrative.
Fuentes?
Yeah,
Nick
little
Fuentes?
Nicky. Yeah, little Nick. I won't say what I want to say.
Well, he went to Boston University now, just like O'Reilly and all these other operatives. They're all part of the same theater class in Boston University. That's all connected there.
Crazy.
So here's what we're going to do, Neil. I'm going to tell you in private about the Isaac Cappy ordeal.
Okay.
If some of our members like to join us, feel free to do so. You have the link up there, but it's something I can't put out yet. But I don't mind telling you, Neil, because there's an ongoing investigation. So there we have that. Okay, we're going to get out of here. We want to thank American X News and X American News, all of you out there.
Both of them.
Yes, for allowing Real Deal Media into the confines of your living room. Hopefully this won't be the last time, but if it is, I truly understand. Hopefully not. So for Neil Bishop, I'm Dean Ryan, and everyone else here at Real Deal Media saying thank you for sharing a bit of your night. And always remember to stay tuned and stay awake. Good night, everybody.
Spend days window shopping, not knowing what you wanted. Then you find yourself table hopping, not knowing where your heart will. I don't mind not being immortal. It's not that as far as I can tell. I don't mind not going to heaven, as long as they got cigarettes. vagabond trip. I don't mind not being immortal. It's not all that as far as I can tell. I don't mind not going to heaven, as long as they got cigarettes, as long as they got cigarettes in